try to make the claim this is the best Thursday night football game of all time?
I looked into this because when the game ended, I said that might have been the best Thursday night I've ever seen. Obviously, Chiefs-Rams was really, really good.
Monday nighter, though. Chiefs-Rams was a Monday night.
Yeah,
so take that out.
That was a Monday night.
All right, Raiders-Chiefs on Thursday night with a bunch of penalties at the end in the end zone.
Oh,
I'm going to say it. Screw it. That was the best Thursday night game of all time. Tell me I'm wrong.
Okay.
Tell me I'm wrong.
It was real stakes last night. If the Eagles lose and go 1-3, and the Cowboys are like 3-0 or 4-0.
Dramatic finish. Big star turns.
Cowboys Saints this week, of course. Week 4 is kicked out, and Will Silva's got all the headlines you need to know before more football kicks off.
Absolutely. What's going on there, Kay and guys? Happy Friday to you. Corner Jalen Ramsey may be persona non grata around the Jaguars practice facility with the birth of his second child in Nashville, but he's still making sure he's being heard loud and clear. Ramsey telling Uninterrupted and Sirius XM 17 Weeks podcast he's not sure if he's played his final game for the Jags, but his trade request still stands. He added respect is a huge thing and believes once it's lost for both parties, it's time to part ways. Ramsey says peace and happiness means more than money. He also confirmed that he was sick with the flu. Chargers running back Melvin Gordon at practice Thursday, fully healthy after his holdout. Head coach Anthony Lynn saying as soon as Gordon is ready, he's going to be their number one guy in the backfield. Gordon is unlikely, though, to play Sunday against the Dolphins. Lynn also saying Austin Eckler and Justin Jackson will still have a major role in the offense. Saints quarterback Drew Brees recovering from surgery for a torn ligament in his right thumb. The timetable for his return originally put at 6 to 8 weeks, but thinks this projection isn't set in stone.
As far as the timetable for getting back, though, they say 6 to 8 weeks. I think I can beat that, but I'm just going to take it 1 week at a time and see how things go.
Brees also telling WWL Radio he had an internal brace inserted during his surgery last week. He also says he'll be on the sideline for Sunday's game against the Cowboys. Meanwhile, it's all on Teddy Bridgewater, who's 18-12 as a starter in the NFL.
Thank you so much, Will Silva. Check in with you in a little bit. We certainly hope to see Drew Brees back sooner than later. His team's hosting the Cowboys on Sunday night. It is a big one, and it's been a dream start for Dallas. 3 wins in as many weeks. Dak Prescott playing some of his best football of his career, wanting that bag of money. But now they're faced with a task that they have not been able to accomplish. Get this, guys. Since 2009, winning a game on the road in New Orleans. Jane Slater has more.
Kay, confident is a word I typically use to describe Dak Prescott. Cocky, not one of them. But I made the mistake of using the word sympathize when I asked to see if there were any similarities between Prescott filling in for Tony Romo in his first year and Teddy Bridgewater having to go in and replace Drew Brees. Both quarterbacks having such a history associated with the programs. The response I got back from Prescott was this, quote, sympathize, it's an opportunity. Don't look at what those guys have done. That's not for you to say. I've got to follow behind Drew Brees or Tony Romo. I've got the keys to the car, and I don't care if they are for a week or for the rest of my career. I've got the keys, so what do I do with them now? He also says that he saw that post-game video of Teddy Bridgewater telling the locker room that he appreciated them accepting him. He said, you've got to be grateful in those opportunities, but you've also got to take advantage of them. He says he wishes him the best of luck, but obviously not this week. Okay?
Jane Slater will be busy this weekend with that one. Perhaps no team's been rolling like the Cowboys. They're facing by far their toughest test to date, visiting the Saints in the Superdome. Do you expect this week to give us our best gauge? It's the best measuring stick of how good Dallas is. They've got a meeting with the Green Bay Packers shortly after.
Yeah, and Kay, their first 3 opponents are the Giants with Eli, and they came in kind of not looking like the Giants that looked like last week against Tampa. The Redskins, who are winless, and the Dolphins, who are winless. Or a lot of people who are just saying, okay, let's hold on before we crown the Cowboys the kings of the NFC. You go into New Orleans? Let's talk about the Cowboys as the kings of the NFC. I saw an Eagles team go into Lambeau last night and beat Aaron Rodgers in his building on primetime. This is going to be on primetime, Sunday night, without Teddy Bridgewater, without Drew Brees, and it's Teddy Bridgewater. If the Cowboys can come in there, establish the run, and establish their will like they did on a Thursday night game last year, I think we'll be talking about the Cowboys on Monday. This is a big test, though, because I think nationally people are kind of waiting. Those last 2 games, Redskins and Dolphins, those aren't worthy opponents for this Cowboys team. This team in that building definitely is.
Without Brees, are they people overlooking the Saints.
I think so. Even with the win in Seattle, people are still saying, okay, let's hold off on Bridgewater. No, Saints are a legitimate team, and they get that boost at home. Really hard place to win.
In this morning's meeting, you mentioned Garrett versus Peyton and the coaches. And I want to peel back that layer just a little bit. How about Kellen Moore facing the best talent that he's ever faced defensively? You know, you mentioned the team's a 1-8 record. So everybody's saying, well, listen, the Cowboys look good, but they haven't faced a top-tier defense. Dak has faced good defenses. Ezekiel Elliott has faced good defense. Amari Cooper, the list goes on. The one guy that hasn't is Kellen Moore. The biggest test to date for Kellen Moore in his life. I'm talking about career at Boise as a football player. Didn't play much as a quarterback in the league. Now as an offensive coordinator. Let's see what he comes up with, because you know that Peyton is going to come up with some sauce to try to switch up this game plan offensively. Let's see if Kellen Moore can match that.
It's funny because, Nate, that brings me right to my point. I think this game's about Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett has never been 3-0 in his tenure with Dallas Cowboys. He's got to hear this week that they haven't played anyone, they haven't beaten anyone quality, that the other coach on the other side is a genius, that the only reason they're 3-0 is because of his coordinator. He's going into a stadium in which Jared Goff and Sean McVay won in the playoffs.
Right.
Screw that. They should pound this team. Their quarterback is healthy. Their team is more talented right now. They should pound the Saints this weekend. And if they don't, it's a letdown on Jason Garrett.
February 2nd is the date on the calendar, right? We all have it circled. The Super Bowl is going down in Miami on Fox. We don't know who's playing, which teams will be going at it for the Lombardi Trophy, but we now know who the two artists are who will perform in the Pepsi Super Bowl halftime show. Global superstars Jennifer Lopez and Shakira both announced yesterday that they will share the biggest stage in the world. Between them, they have sold over 100 million records, but for both of them, the moment and the location make this performance different and more special than any other.